It's possible that after we've been traumatized or affected by something in life, that we get locked up into habits which keep us in a cycle of failure. But when you've decided you've had enough and you're ready to create new joy, new life, it is possible for you to move forward, finding success and happiness. Welcome to today's episode. I hope you enjoy it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins, and I am the founder of All Joy Inspired and the owner of Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. Digging from Darkness, Living in Light is a group of, let's just call them life travelers, people who've been through quite a bit in life and made it to the other side. And now their mission, in one way or another, in their field of expertise, is to show other people how to make that journey themselves. So we have a really, really special show today. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Today we're taking an inside look. Ooh, I do love this damn music. Hi, Benny. We're going to take an inside look. I know a lot of people who, in my personal life, who are always complaining, always very down, and thinking to themselves, "My life sucks. The world is against me because XYZ. I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to succeed at anything. Why should I even try?" I'm sure you know people like that, right? I'm sure you do. But before we begin, I want to give a huge, huge shout out to Beard Vet. Oh, yep, I got it. Okay. To Beard Vet and Beard Vet products over at beardvet.com. They are really awesome people. And the reason I'm shouting them out today, like I do every show, is because it's a veteran-owned company that employs veterans, and portions of their proceeds go to veteran charities. So Beard Vet, oh my God, this camera angle. My bad, you guys. Beard Vet and Beardo over there and the fellows. Hi, brother. Hi, sister. Hi, everybody. As you can see over there, we got them stocked up. So if you forget the name of it, just zoom in up on that B. I'm going to have my trusty cup right here. Oh, boy. Hold on one second, you guys. I am going to excuse myself for just a second. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. The actual interviewee of the show was calling in. So I want to say hello to Harold out there. Harold, we're live. Can't talk on the phone, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know if you're having trouble finding this. I hope you do. But if you're having trouble finding or getting online to watch the show, you can always go to YouTube. Always go to YouTube. My Twitter also has this live. It's live on Facebook. It's live on Twitch. Yeah, we got that on Twitch. And the replay is available on a dopey amount of platforms. So if you can't see it live, you're not going to miss anything. Where were we? Okay. If you know somebody who is always depressed, I mean, always down in the dumps, and they feel like life is just kicking the crap out of them and beating them up over and over and over again, sometimes that can get people into a mindset, why bother, right? Why bother? Well, I'm going to introduce you to someone who has an inspiring story. Someone whose story is going to explain why that mindset of why bother is a bunch of bullshit. This particular person went from being a happy 17-year-old overnight, just like that. 10 years in prison, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Can you imagine that? Not having a chance to be introduced into life as an adult, but straight from childhood into prison. And during that experience, this person went through that cycle of mindset to be able to come out and create a successful business. Excuse me. I was so excited to do this show. It took me 2 days to put this together. 2 days. You guys are going to see why. So the name of today's show is called Success After Healing. And for those of you who are in a cycle of seeing no options, of constantly being horribly stressed of maybe navigating that life with some self-destructive habits, or you feel like you're constantly starting things and never finishing them. I know a lot of people like that too. I coach a lot of people like that. Maybe you don't have any vision. Maybe you don't know what you're passionate about, or always seems to be bad things happening to you. Like you're always in the wrong place at the wrong time and everything bad happens to you. Does it really though? Does it really though? I mean, you woke up, right? You're alive. Yeah. All right. So without further ado, we are going to introduce my friend, Harold Allen Jr., the owner and founder of Buckle Up LLC, Buckle Up Wellness. Here we go. If you ever felt like you were doomed to be imprisoned by your past, by your trauma, we're going to introduce you to someone who was actually in prison and managed to find his way out of his darkness to create a new life. Introducing Harold Allen Jr., the founder of Buckle Up Wellness. Harold spent 10 years on the inside, and instead of staying in a cycle of failure, he went forward to create a life of success and giving back to his community. Hope you enjoy the show. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, we have Harold Allen Jr., amazing man with a very inspiring story. It has been months since I first became aware of you, Harold, and I have been looking to share your story with my audience. First, would you mind telling us a little bit about what you do now?
Well, right now I'm personal trainer, ultra runner. I run 100-mile races. That's high endurance athlete. I train people.
Wow.
I love to work out. I love to stay fit and healthy. I love God. I love people.
Amen.
And I got a lot of people. Like I said, I'm training. You know what I'm saying, and just moving forward in life. Yes, and I do virtual training as well.
Oh, that's amazing. So if you've got clients with special needs, say people maybe who are handicapped, can they still train with you?
Yes. From
Awesome.
1 to 99.
That's amazing. I am so grateful to you. I was especially impressed. But you've run marathons.
Yeah, 100 miles. Yes, 100 miles. 100-mile ultras.
That's amazing. That's so crazy. And how did you get into that? How did you get into doing marathons, on your knowledge, if you don't mind? Because I myself have hired more than one trainer over the years. And a lot of the trouble I've had is that some trainers were not familiar with nutrition. Now, you clearly know what you're doing because you run 100-mile marathons. Do you coach in nutrition as well?
Well, somewhat, but I ain't gonna say I'm a professionalism in that area, because my main thing is I want to get the motor going first. You know what I mean? So I always tell my people, make sure you can stay consistent. Then we can start, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of times as long as I got them going with the consistency and we got the wheels turning on the car, we can pretty much go because I got a few of us, like, back in February, I did a 30-day no meat challenge. So, wow, what's that so serious? Yeah. Yes, I know. And it was, I'll tell you the truth. I'm be honest now, I got the 23 days on that, and I just say, because I had to get ready to prepare for a race, 100-mile race. So I pulled back off that, and I got a few of my clients, and we constantly thrive on stuff like that. You know what I mean? Challenging our body, because people don't understand when you do deny your flesh, it make you stronger inside. It's not that you're hungry. You're not really hungry. You know what I mean? You have to challenge yourself.
That's right. I totally agree with. So as you can see, as we're getting to know Harold Allen Jr., the founder of Buckle Up LLC, Buckle Up Wellness, Harold decided that while he was incarcerated, now you're going to learn in the next video, you're going to learn the conditions of that incarceration and the effect that had on him. But as you can see, Harold was literally locked in prison. Now, there are a lot of you out there who feel condemned by your past, who feel as if things that have happened to you in your life have determined the rest of your future. Your whole journey has already been decided. Something awful happened to you, or a series of things have happened in your life, and that may have conditioned you to believe your future has been sealed. You have been sentenced. Harold was literally sentenced and in prison. So I'm hoping that today's show is going to be relatable to you as a metaphor. Unless you've been locked down and you understand and you might be having a hard time moving forward. I'm really, really hoping that today's show inspires you. And for whatever reason, if your past circumstances are holding you back, or you feel like people just won't stop judging you because of things that may be a part of your history, right? And you just haven't forgiven yourself yet. Well, moving on, we are going to show you how that's possible. Okay, here we go. Before that I've read several times about you, that some things had happened to you before you began this journey. Is it okay if we talk about that?
Yeah, you can. No, ask me. Feel free to ask all the questions. Like, this is your show. I'm happy to be here, and I'm just happy to be on your podcast. And just feel free to ask anything you want to ask. I'm here.
I appreciate that. I know that several years ago, you went through a really traumatic experience, and it changed the course of your life.
Yes.
And would you mind telling everyone what happened and how it changed your vision of what you wanted your life to be like?
Yeah, I know you mentioned the 10 years in prison I did at the age of 17. And also I want people to know that was my first time ever spending a day or every time being locked up, first time ever. So I went from 1 day to over 3,000 days for something I didn't do. And it's humble you. It gives you a humble experience, give you another outlet of looking at life, because but you got to think about it. God put you in that place so you can be able to move forward in life and you can help others. And so that's all I'm on now, taking all that I went through at a young age like that and just helping others progress and move forward with their life and journey and mission,
You have such an incredibly beautiful spirit. I have gotten to know you over the last almost year now, and I've always been uplifted and just energized by the aura around you. Your persona is so beautiful for somebody who's gone through something so terrible. And I wanted to ask you, if it's okay with you, when you were incarcerated for something you didn't do, did it injure your desire to be a good person? Did it hurt your vision of the world?
Well, at first, I think about with the first 2-3 years going through that experience, I was like, so like, God, why me? Why me? You got family members passing and they don't let you go to the funerals. You don't get to see people for so many years. They grow up, and they was, when you left, they was a child, and I come back, they're adult. But I stopped after about 3 years, and I just started accepting it. And I just started, what I'm saying, because it's a hurting feeling when you're around people with life sentences. You're around people that's they end up for the crime that they done did. You know what I mean? So you think they want to really hear about saying, now you ain't here for something that you didn't do. You get what I'm saying? So I just had to start. Yeah, so I just had to start accepting it and just let it be what it was and what it's gonna be, and move on forward with it. And then after about 5, 6, 7, after about 5, that 5th year, I just knew God had me there for a reason. Okay.
So what I was asking, Harold, and we're going to get deep into this. I'm overwhelmed with appreciation for this interview, because it is people that have gone through extreme circumstances that tend to give us perspective when we're feeling either sorry for ourselves, or we are feeling condemned or down on our luck. Harold, when he went to prison for not even the crime that was committed, he was a 17-year-old. He didn't even have a chance to be an adult yet. And he was in prison, and he was despondent, I'm sure. And the people around him who were serving life sentences for crimes that they had been convicted of didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear that he was there for 10 years, and their attitude was, you're going to get out eventually. How about you appreciate that? And it gave Harold, after some time on the inside, some perspective that this is not my life forever. This is not who I am. This is just a period of time that is going to pass. And this is relatable to, not literally, but it's relatable to other people who might be struggling with something really, really hard or really unexpected or really unfair. If you know someone who is like this, please send them a link to the replay of the show. I'm really hoping that to get through to some people, maybe break through some of those walls that are keeping you guys from moving forward, from giving your mindset and your habits and your contributions to the world a chance to blossom. So while Harold was on the inside, he got this perspective. And at that point, at about the 3-year mark, he said, because he's got such a charming and sweet Southern accent. God bless that man. He's such a lovely human being. I hope you guys get a chance to talk to him, and I'm going to tell you how to do that later on in the show. But he's just such a beautiful heart. I instantly took a liking to him. He decided to make these changes because those people who had suffered far worse punishments than him put him in that mindset. So if you're going through something right now, and it feels overwhelming and it feels just like the worst thing in the whole world, take a minute to talk to somebody or to read a story about someone or watch a video about someone who's going through far worse, someone who truly is trapped and condemned. And this is hopefully going to motivate you to take steps for the next video that we're going to show you. How did you transform from being incarcerated to being a functioning, successful member of society? What was it that did that for you?
Well, I think that your habits that you pick up along the way carry it along with you. You know, while you're in there, you always got to be active and you got to stay positive. You know, get your detail, go to church. You know what I'm saying? Then when you get out here, it'll automatically just roll over. So with a lot of guys, when they get out and they have this kind of persona of, but you've been thinking like this when you in there. You get what I mean? So now when you get out here, you gotta always you don't prepare to fail. You know what I mean? You prepare for preparation to be a winner when you get out. So you can already, you get what I'm saying?
I
Be
do.
ready to go. Every morning, up early, you gotta be ready to go. So if you failing and you got that mentality of a failing, you already been thinking like that before you ain't got out here. So you just gotta pick it up, fall on your knees and pray, get back up, get your faith and get your heart right, and just go for it.
Amen. when you decided to start a business?
Yes, I remember it.
I forgot to unmute the video. That son of a bitch. I'm feeling pretty fancy. I got the shelves all lit up. I got the lights looking snazzy. That's my bad. But you see how we are an ever evolving work of art as people, as professionals, as students, as human beings. So I'm going to go through that one more time. Where were we? Thanks for being patient, yo. Harold said something super important in that last video that I showed you. He said something super important. He said the mentality of a felon. And what he was describing was preparing for life on the outside or preparing to leave circumstances behind you. He says you can choose to transform your mindset to put you on a more positive, more successful path, or you can choose to take the route of keeping that mindset that puts you in that bad position in the first place. And what he's saying is really important, because if you start taking steps to leave whatever situation is condemning you, has sentenced you to darkness in one way or whatever way, you're most likely going to go right back to that dark place when you stop putting in that effort. That could be with addiction. That could be with bad relationships. That could be with money problems. It could be with any number of things. It could be with your health, with your fitness. But if you don't change this first, anything you do is almost going to be a wasted effort. So that was a really important point that I think he made. And now that my damn microphone is unmuted, I apologize. That won't happen a second time, you guys. Now we're going to talk about the first steps that he decided to take after his incarceration was complete. Okay.
And I had already been doing it, but I got my LLC, so it's been 2 years.
Yay!
But now I'm just, it's a lot of time with the paperwork stuff. I have a hard time, but I got my LLC. I've been having 2 years. I remember, back in May, 2 years ago, 2021, because it's 2023. And I just say, we put the paperwork in, it got it approved, and just went to going from there. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been training people for a long time. As I remember, matter of fact, I started training people in prison. So and a lot of my tactics come from prison with my training. You know what I'm saying? And that's just about 2 years.
I mean, wow, right? Wow. So here is a person who is 17, got into a situation and got locked down for a 10-year sentence. At about the 3-year mark, it impressed upon him that he really wasn't going to feel sorry for himself anymore. He was going to start taking steps to improve his mindset, right? Then he began investing in himself. And what I really, really need to get across to people, and what I work so hard with my clients and my consulting clients, my coaching clients, all of them, you don't have to know everything to start making moves. You don't have to be perfect. I mean, my God, if we were all perfect, how would we ever learn anything? How would we ever make amazing discoveries, right? So Harold started training people while he was still locked up. And he began to refine his skill of how to talk to people, how to coach people in physical fitness, how to start thinking about things like how to build a business. He didn't know anything about that. He had to learn from somewhere, right? If you're thinking about starting a business, but you're kind of putting it off because there isn't enough money, you don't have a vision, you don't know how to run a business or anything about finances, maybe you hate computers. I freaking hate computers. The concept is that he began to harness opportunities already around him. And when you are locked in a dark state of mind, when you are locked down in a depressive mindset, it's going to be hard to see all of these opportunities to try new things around you. So changing your mentality and changing your mindset is the very first step. And then after that, you start looking around. and you start seeing things that, hey, maybe I want to try. But you might be afraid to because you're afraid of failing and you're afraid like you'll lose everything. Now, sidebar, right? I spoke to somebody this morning, and I am celebrating in my heart and in my mind right now because another porn star left the business today. Another one. Didn't have anything directly to do with me, but I am leading by example. And I spoke to this person this morning, and this person who is going to remain anonymous because I appreciate the respect and I appreciate the camaraderie of, yeah, something else is right for me. But I spoke to this person, and this person thanked me for doing what I'm doing and leading by example. And Harold is leading by example. He is inspiring other people who have come out of the worst possible situation to try new things, to move forward in life, to accept the love of a faith, no matter what that may be, to believe in a higher power, to maybe come out of the world of addiction, to harness opportunities around you, right? And start taking small steps. It doesn't matter how small. I know somebody who's not quite ready to start a business yet. Now, this person has just lost a really high paying job in the corporate world. This person has an amazing gift of speaking and of communicating to people. But this person's afraid. And I got to tell you, you know who you are. And I'm speaking right to you. You have an amazing gift. Now, when you know in your heart that you have a mission and you know there's something special inside you, but you're afraid it's not going to make you a living, start doing it anyway. Start doing it as a hobby while you still work your job. And that's one of the things I teach people in the adult industry, that if they want to get their feet wet and they want to start creating a business and start figuring out the bits and pieces while they still do the work, they can prepare something to replace the work when the time is right for them. So start small. Start small, make mistakes. Oh, we are going to talk about this on another show, but making mistakes is such a happy occasion. Okay, moving on. What has been the hardest part for you? Having an LLC, having a business? What are you
Well,
having? What kind of challenges are you having?
I'm having a lot of challenges, but you know what? I'm still always gonna keep my faith. We have challenges of because being in the community where we at the South, you know what I mean? So people somewhat don't want to, they want a result without doing the work. You get what I'm saying? And
I do.
yeah, and then a lot of them knowing the person that who I am and what I do and what I stand for, I'm gonna get you the result, but you got to put in the work. Then you got some people they want to pay. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? This is
Yes.
a this is a this is hey, this is how I eat. You know what I mean? So because anybody be like, man, Harold, the way you do your stuff, you got you do you got side, you running, you can go to a big city and you can be very very more. But it's just for me and what I got going on. I always looked at I got to make it happen right here.
I think
You
I
know?
can help you with that, Harold. I've got a
Oh
few million
wow.
people worldwide watching this show today. And I think we're going to get the word out about how incredibly amazing your skill is. So, what Harold was describing was the typical difficulties that business owners have when they first venture forward into being independent. It's scary. Any business owner will tell you those first 2 years are make it or break it. In fact, most businesses fail within the first 2 years. Harold has beaten those odds already. He is in year 2 of his LLC, Buckle Up Wellness. Well, it's Buckle Up LLC, but as you'll see later, he's got a flyer. It's really cute. Harold's already beaten the odds in more ways than one, because most people who are incarcerated tend to go back for the reason that they don't get their mindset right. So he's doing amazing things. You're going to learn more about Harold as we go, where the interview is not too much longer. We had some signal issues, so I had to edit this, to segment it so you could understand. But some of the sound would cut out because there were storms overhead. It's not easy. but it's worth it. If you really, really love something, such as uh, a business that you're doing, Harold loves physical fitness training. He loves teaching people how to be healthier, either through nutrition or fitness, according to their stage and their progress. And you remember hearing him earlier. He doesn't believe on thrusting things on people all at one time. The way that he coaches and the way that he trains people, it's to ease them into permanent changes by teaching them according to where they're at in their development, which I believe is brilliant. So I think he's got it all together. But the challenges are going to come and they're not going to stop. So if you're getting started and you're taking small steps and they're not working out, fine. Okay. Happens to every one of us, like even me. And I'm having a great time here. But let me tell you, I get very little sleep. And not because I'm not in bed at him trying. It's because I've always got things turning in my head. And another thing that separates business owners from people who are meant to work a job versus give jobs to people around them is they're constantly trying to grow, constantly trying to see how they can expand, see how they can bring more people their service or their message or their mission. It's a mission. It's a calling. When you open a business, it's got to be for the right reasons, because the money comes and goes. And let me tell you, the economy, it's not awesome right now. And every single person, I'm going to tell you, every person I know that I've spoken to in the last couple of weeks is hurting. Every business owner, every individual, whether you're a business owner or employee, everybody's hurting. So you've got to learn to ride the waves. You've got to learn to make decisions or create a mindset to get you through that, and constantly be trying to find new solutions. If you're feeling stuck, like I know of a few classmates of mine who have begun their journey and then just stopped, said, this is too much work. And I feel bad. I feel bad for them because they've invested so much of themselves into the progress, into the information, into the effort and the energy and the time. Oh my, everything. For them to just say, I give up. How do you do that to yourself? How do you do that to yourself? If it's getting really hard, take a break, but then come back to the table. If you're trying to start a business and you start tripping and you fall down and things go horribly wrong, okay, happens to every one of us. Take a break. Take a break. Rejuvenate yourself. Reconnect with your family, with your loved ones, with your friends, with your peace, and then come back, because that business is never going to open. It's never going to reach people and serve who you're trying to serve with your mission if you don't get back up. Dust yourself off and tell life it hits like a bitch. So moving forward, it's time for you to go for it. It's time for you to stop making excuses. It's time for you to love yourself enough to unlock your hands, unimprison yourself, set yourself free, and get on the path to creating the destiny you were made to have. We are going to move on because now is the time when Harold goes for it. I know you're a very busy man. You have a client coming soon. Harold, what would you like to say to other men and women who are coming back to society after being on the inside? What advice do you have to give them?
Just keep going first, man. Let that be that you don't did your time for the crime. I mean, start fresh. Don't give up. Keep your faith. Stay strong, man. Stay strong in the word of God. Stay on your knees. Stay praying, and just don't look back. And if you have to look back, don't even think about it. And you have to give your story. Sometimes it's hard. I know it's challenging.
Do you know anybody who has run 5,000 miles? Anybody? Do you know why? And if you connect with Harold Allen Jr., and I really hope you do, because everything about this man is fascinating. I don't know a single person except for Forrest Gump, and that's a fictional character. And I doubt Tom Hanks has ever run 5,000 miles. I seriously doubt it, right? He ran 5,000 miles, but do you want to know why? It's not because he wanted to look, you know, fit and low body fat. That's not why. Harold ran 5,000 miles because he wanted to raise awareness to the conditions of mental health. I kid you not. Who does that? Who does that? Harold Allen Jr. does that. That's who. People like that. People like you. Now, I'm not saying go out there and run 5,000 miles. I'm saying give yourself a chance to reach this greatness that you have inside of you that you are denying the world. Now, I remember someone who is a part of my development as a professional, as a mentor for people around me, as a coach, as a consultant, someone who I hold very dear to me. His name is Todd Campbell. Of course, there are many others, but the very first message I got was from a man named Todd Campbell. Now, he is a mindset, a transformation coach, and he is coach of coaches. Like this guy is like the head, poobah. He's the grand poobah of my experience learning. Really amazing man. And if you want to connect with him and to maybe see what he's all about, get a hold of me and I will give you that information. But listening to Todd Campbell changed my life. And I'm hoping to be that for someone else, to be that for some of you. Now, here is where we're talking about Harold. He's telling people on the outside, people who are coming newly freed, newly back to society. So if you are just now stepping out of your darkness, your negative or repressive mindset, and you have been punishing yourself for something that you've done, and you punish yourself by you're holding yourself back by not trying those things that really give you hope. And if you're just starting to try to see what the waters are about on the other side, what Harold is talking about is surround yourself with good people, with positive people. When you first start leaving your darkness, but you can still feel it on your back, you're going to lose some people. You're going to lose some people who need you to stay stuck where you are because they benefit from it. I had a friend and I love her dearly. I still, to this day, even though she's an asshole, I love her dearly. I really do. But she's stuck in this victimhood mindset that is just crushing her. It's just crushing her greatness. She has abused her body with addiction and with lack of care for so many years. It's killing her. It's slowly killing her. And she takes it out on people. She takes it out on the world. And it's sad because I have love for this person in my heart. But as you start leaving your own darkness, some people are going to try to pull you back. So what Harold's saying is surround yourself with good people, people who are pushing you to leave your darkness and into your light of achieving things that make you happy, make you feel like you're giving something back to the world, that you are leaving a legacy to the world of making the world a better place, even just a little bit. So that's what I'm doing with All Joy Inspired. And if you feel like you're stuck and you can't quite figure it out, hire a coach. There are many different kinds of coaches out there. There are also what's called life consultants, slightly different than a life coach, slightly different. Google it. I'm not going to bore you with those details, but hire somebody, go to somebody, talk to someone you respect. There are a lot of people in Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. It's a Facebook group. A lot of people who, for one reason or another, went through some pretty tough times in life. And almost every one of them are business owners, and they can talk to you. They are more than willing to reach out to you to answer your questions. They're wonderful people. And again, I'm going to give a shout out to Liam Weisner, who was another one of my coaches. Liam Weisner is an amazing human being. He's part of OVF, which is a veterans group of people owned and operated by veterans, just like one more shout out to Beard Vet Coffee, owned and operated by veterans because we love our veteran community. My God, that's so good. But Liam Weisner was actually another one of my coaches. He's an awesome individual. And a person who gets into coaching for one reason or another, they want to help people. Talk to them. If you're stuck and you don't know how to move forward, talk to someone, ask for help. Okay. After we've gotten this far, I got a little sidetracked because I love talking to you guys. I know. But beyond mentioning his advice for people who are newly freed, Harold is he begins to discuss his appreciation for the people who helped him. And this is a very special segment of our show where you will learn who was impactful on Harold's ability to move beyond his experience and find joy in the world after something terrible happened to him.
Put his hat on. I know he'll watch it. I might take a screenshot with him. It's fluent English. You know, he's a big advocate. His name is Jason Scott Davis from Hot Springs, Arkansas. And he's a big advocate, you know what I mean, for doing the right things and experienced a lot of stuff in his life. So let me make sure I get this one.
Fluent
I want to take a picture. You can look at it. I'm gonna screenshot it.
I love that.
Screenshot it.
Is he able to watch the broadcast on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure you watch. He gonna watch. He gonna lean in. He gonna be going crazy, and they're gonna be, I'm serious because he was on drugs, but now he off drugs. He been clean for 2 years, and he got a lot of stuff that helping people, you know, like farmer, people that's on drugs and trying to help them get off, and he don't did experience in life, and it's Hot Springs, Arkansas, so you got a lot of, got a lot of people need a lot of help. So he one of the guys that I can recommend, and I won't really be, saying the names of the people that, I need to recommend that I know that's been an advocate that went through that kind of life and that kind of stuff, and back out here positive and giving back to people to help people, because once you don't been through it, I can help you, I can help you, I can reach out, you know what I'm saying, and help you. So yeah, shouts out to Jason Scott Davis, Hot Springs.
Jason Scott Davis, our hero of the day. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
If he's open to it, I would love to have him on to tell his story as well. We also have members who are new to sobriety or, continuing sobriety. And that is all by itself a celebration. That's a release from a different kind of prison. You know what I mean? And that is such an act of love. Thank you, Jason Scott Davis, for being a friend to one of my new friends and for mentoring people in your community to find their way out of addiction. And I know a few people who do that for people around them in one way or another. One of our group members, his name is Brett Grau. He wrote a book detailing his experience finding sobriety and staying sober. So Jason Scott Davis of Fluent English in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for being an example and a mentor to people who really need you. Appreciate you so much. As for Harold continues to, here we go. Right after this, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I'm thankful that now that, you gotta look at all the days, all the nights. Now God just put me in linking with people that my message can still, can keep going and flowing, because when you're in a small area, voices, they don't want your voice to get out, and they want that to keep that contained. Right. But God still,
he connected us for a reason, Harold. He connected us for a reason. This interview is going to go worldwide on Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're 7 p.m. Eastern. Is it daylight?
Yes.
I can never keep track. So it's going to be.
I'm gonna share listen. I'm gonna share your picture of this live interview on Facebook. I don't know people. You know what I mean? Is that okay with you?
Oh, it's totally okay. It's across 9 different platforms, so people are going to know who you are, Harold. And I am so grateful to you. Thank you so much. We're going to check back with you in a couple of weeks to see how business is doing and any business advice you might want to talk about for new trainers or people of that nature. But for today, I am so thankful to you, Harold, for being a guest. You are wonderful.
Yes,
I appreciate you. It was really important for Harold to share his story today. Harold Allen Jr. of Buckle Up LLC. Harold has made incredible strides in his life to share his service and his experience with people around him. And he felt it was important because he wanted to give other people courage. Sharing your story doesn't make you a loser. It doesn't make you attention seeking when you do it for the right reasons. When you share your story, like Harold is sharing his stories today, he wants to reach other people who are afraid, who have doubts that they can succeed after being in a situation like he was. It can also give other people a little bit of direction to help them figure out what steps to take. And it reinforces their strength that it is possible for them to achieve something new. So if you're in a dark spot and you're taking little baby steps forward, share your journey. Tell people about it. Give other people hope that no matter how small your success is, it's a celebration. So one more shout out to Jason Scott Davis of Hot Springs, Arkansas. And a huge, huge, huge thanks for Harold Allen Jr. Of Buckle Up LLC for being an example for people who are still stuck in their darkness, to help them find their light. You are able to find Harold, and I had a graphic here, but I don't know, my computer's acting like an a-hole. I'm going to leave this ticker up for just a few more minutes. Harold does virtual training. Here we go. One last video. I invite all of you to contact Harold. The number is 299-205-7962. He is a licensed business owner. He has been training people for, I'm going to say, about 12 years now, and professionally for 2. He's available 24/7. So all of you shift workers out there who are having a hard time finding someone to be available during the times when you can work out, Harold Allen Jr. is the answer to that situation. He can go to the gym with you on your phone. He can do virtual training while you go to the gym. He can, work with you if you're in your house or if you're on vacation across the world. Harold Allen Jr. has an exceptionally valuable service available for all of you. And I hope you at least give him a contact, He's such a sweetheart. We were having so many troubles with the signal because there were storms. I mean, he's in Georgia, and I'm way over here in Las Vegas, and we kept dropping the signal. So thank you, Harold, for being so patient with me. I was getting so frustrated. But we are now going to go to the live chat. I'm going to answer all of your questions, and I'm going to acknowledge your comments. Here we go. You are muted. Yeah, I know. That happened for a few minutes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hi, guys. Hi. Yep. So the first 5 or 7, yeah, that's my bad. I'm sorry about that. I'm getting a little fancy here, and I'm about to misstep every once in a while. You guys, come on, cut me a break. Break. Lost sound. We can't hear you. Yeah, I know. Thank you for your military service, Liz. Cry havoc. Let slip the dogs of war. Never surrender. Hi, Chris. You haven't been banned from YouTube? Chris is our resident bad boy. Chris gets suspended and banned from platforms because Chris has some very supportive beliefs that some people don't appreciate. I love Chris. I think Chris is a hoot. Ooh. So while we're here, hi, Jamal. Chris, never. Okay, you guys, I see you out there. We have some announcements to make, you guys. Where did I do that? There we go. If you appreciate our show and our broadcast, bringing you information and bringing you inspiration and hope and direction, sometimes a little bit of education, please go to alljoyinspired.store. Any purchase that you make helps us to extend our services to people who have fallen on hard times by paying for the business that we operate. So please go to alljoyinspired.store, find a funny gift or an inspirational gift, or maybe a foul mouth t-shirt. We even have a couple of really ignorant hats to put on your head. I think it's going to be a hoot. But thank you for supporting our mission to reach people who desperately need our help. Really appreciate that, you guys. One more check to see if anybody is back. We are going to acknowledge right before we go those who have put on a uniform in service of our country. I come from generations of military members. My husband comes from generations of military members. And some of you out there may be serving, you may have served, or you may be a loved one of someone who has served, or maybe you have a friend. Memorial Day is a day to remember those who have lost their lives in the service of our country. I just kind of want to give you guys a little bit of advice. Happy Memorial Day. Maybe we could reserve that for a different holiday. We are remembering those and celebrating the lives and the sacrifice of those who died in uniform. So instead of Happy Memorial Day, maybe figure something else out. Okay, that's it. All right, lots of love, you guys. I will see you next week on Digging from Darkness, Living in Light. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Please don't drink and drive. There's no dumber reason to go to jail or die. Okay, love ya.